This is DVD. And this is what happens when you watch DVD. It's a movie on a disc the size of a CD. Watch a movie right on your computer. And rent or buy DVDs created by these great Hollywood studios. DVD. See how good a movie at home can be. And now, choose from hundreds of great DVD titles like these. DVD.
Yeah. Did you know this year marks the 30th anniversary of the release of DVDs? I mean, technically in this country it was released in 1997, but God, it makes you feel old. Oh look, it's me again, unfortunately. In fact, it's going to be a lot of me, isn't it, for the next 20 minutes probably. This is the section where I go through all the DVDs that I bought in the last couple of weeks. I can't sit over there anymore because the table isn't there. The table is now upstairs holding a tube television and a VHS player. I just bought another VHS player, so I'll now have 3. One for hooking up to OBS so I can digitize anything interesting that I find on these videos and record YouTube videos onto video. Probably for Halloween, because I have a bit of VHS nostalgia for Halloween, but we're getting way ahead of ourselves. I could be dead by then. It's a long time away. I'm buying more than I'm watching at the moment. In fact, I'm buying way more than I'm watching because life is just hectic at the moment. So, let's get into it. I'll start with Royal Rumble 2004. This is a Region 1. I found this in a charity shop. This is the year Vince McMahon tore both his quads getting into the ring because John Cena and Batista botched the finish. It's a very interesting Royal Rumble. I don't remember all of it. The Jamie Noble versus Rey Mysterio was one of the matches. Brock Lesnar versus Hardcore Holly. This is such a weird Royal Rumble. I'm looking forward to rewatching this. I will cover some wrestling in this. You know, I'll have more time soon, and these episodes will get better, I promise. Hellraiser Judgment. I do not know what number Hellraiser this is. I have Hellraiser Inferno somewhere here. Hellraiser Inferno, which is actually one of the better Hellraiser sequels, from what I remember. That's probably going to be crap, that Judgment one, but I might as well try and get them all at this point. Where did you go, my lovely? Also got the Hellraiser box set up there with the 3 original films. I think Inferno is number 5. No idea what this one is, but anyway. I thought I had a season or 2 of Luther. Maybe I should start collecting them. Are they any good? Sightseers. Now, from what this looks like, a couple that are serial killers. That's all I know. That's all I want to know. Paranormal Activity, the marked ones. Whoop. Oh, there they are. So, I was actually right for once. I didn't have this one. I got 1, 2, 3, 4. The Ghost Dimensions, and now the marked ones. So, yay me. I can't even remember if there's any more, to be honest. I'll have to look it up and finish this collection off. This looks like a British film. Could be wrong. Actually, I like going in blind to films, so I don't want to know too much about this, but the reviews look really good. It's called Garage. If anyone's seen it, let me know, but no spoilers, please. Vanishing Point. This looks like a 70s car chase movie. Well, it says the ultimate car chase movie at the bottom, so yeah. This is probably what Tarantino based Death Proof on. I have no idea if that's true or not.
To get himself gone.
He did mention a 70s film, so it could be this one. In Fear. I don't know anything about this. I like not knowing anything about these films before I put them on. Makes it more interesting. The Ruins contains strong bloody violence and gore. Good enough for me. This one I've been wanting 4 years. I saw this as a kid, and I just bit the bullet and bought the DVD on eBay. I thought it was going to be a Region 1 because it's never been available here in the UK. But this is a Region 3 DVD. This is a 1987 horror film called Retribution. If any of you have seen this, I'll be surprised. I actually like this film. I did watch this again about 5 or 6 years ago. I downloaded it. And yeah, it's not like amazing, but I have memories of this one from when I was a kid. Here's another one. Christian Slater stars in Pump Up the Volume. This is a really good soundtrack. It'd actually be a really good double bill to watch with Empire Records, which is up here. I'm going to start doing double bills on this channel, so I'm going to put these two together to remind me to watch Empire Records, which I've never seen, and Pump Up the Volume, which I've seen years ago. Both have really good soundtracks, I know that. 10. I actually bought this because I don't often look up films, but you don't see this in a charity shop very often, so I had a feeling this was going to be worth more than a couple of quid. And the one I could find, the first one I could find was like £7, and I couldn't find many more. So £7 isn't much, but you know what I mean. Like this is a rare one. I don't know anything about this film. It's old. I'll give it a go. I got a bunch of anime movies. I've got Street Fighter Alpha, the movie, Manga Force DVDs. That one's open. I've got Street Fighter 2 anime, which isn't open. Then I've been told this is good, Cowboy Bebop. I'll get on this, like maybe tomorrow morning. I'll start watching these, like as my morning wake up. I've got Akira here, which pretty sure I don't have. I could be wrong, but I'm going to go with the idea that I don't have this, otherwise we'll be here forever. The Fall, which I saw in the cinema a few years ago. Didn't hate it, could do with a rewatch. I'm probably not keeping this one though, but we'll see. Wacky Races Part 2. Now I've got every episode of Wacky Races. Yippee. Emilio Estevez, Repo Man. I'm guessing this is an action film. Urotsu Kidoji. I already have this, but I bought it again because I might part exchange the other one I have, or actually part exchange this one in CEX if I see anything decent in there. I've got a bundle under the I've got a bundle behind the sofa there of DVDs that I don't need. I'll probably exchange like 20 of my DVDs for one DVD and see it, because you don't get much for them these days. Although this isn't a film or a DVD, I bought the Crazy Frog game for the PS2. I have my PS2 set up upstairs now. Today I learned about the passing of Rob Grant, a co-writer on Spitting Image, but more importantly, the co-creator of Red Dwarf, which ran on the BBC from 1988 up until season 8, which aired in 1999. It then had a 10-year gap, moving to Dave, which was a Sky channel, probably still is, I wouldn't know. Anyway, Dave revived it by bringing out a 3-part special, which was more like a fan service type movie. Unfortunately, this didn't go down well with fans and was critically panned. It's actually not that bad. It's just a bit jarring to go from a show that was filmed in a studio to this, which was basically fan service. I know a friend of mine, Simon Bond, Simon, who has his own channel on physical media called Simon Says Cinema, he's a big fan of this. I am not so much a fan of this. It was fine. They then brought it back in studio, and just like old times, season 10, 11, and 12. And then, God, it's 6 years already since this happened. But in 2020, they released their last episode / it's basically a TV movie, The Promised Land. This is a great finale. All of Red Dwarf is very good. I'm going to start watching it from the beginning. Yeah, it's been almost 40 years since Red Dwarf first aired in 1988, and it holds up pretty well. I try to rewatch this every few years. It's overdue a rewatch anyway. Rest in peace, Rob Grant. I'm going to start these today. Welcome to the Retro Room, a room which you're going to see quite a bit on this channel. This is where I'm going to come to escape from modern life and just relive the days of living in a bedroom, watching TV. I even have a tube TV, a VHS and DVD player. Also my Nintendo and my Mega Drive, PlayStation 2 are all hooked up in here. I bought a new VHS player the other day on eBay, and in here I'm going to watch some of these blank videos. I have loads of these now. These aren't originally mine. By the way, if you have any and you think they're of interest, you can send them to me. I'll watch them. Here we have a lot of taped movies and TV shows off television. The older the better. I watched one on the last episode, discovered that this was from Christmas. I wrote this on the tape. This is from Christmas 1986. It's in great condition and was a Agatha Christie movie. I forget which one. Maybe one day I'll actually watch the film. I did just skim through this for the commercials. But the idea going forward is to watch the entire tape. I'm going to pick one at random here now. Scotch videotapes. These were meant to be the best blank videotapes going. You got a lifetime guarantee with these.
Every recording as good as the first, or we'll give you a new tape. You can watch Scotch forever.
Re-record, not fade away.
Oh, there he is. There's the skeleton at the back here. So I have no idea when this was recorded, but Airplane, I know, is an 80s film. This could have been recorded sometimes in the 90s, the 2000s. Hell, I even found a football game on one of these from 2012. Arsenal versus Barcelona. Sometimes I'll watch these tapes and release the video separately. Sometimes I'll just skim through them and put them on this Chidzvidz episode. I don't know how to go about it yet, but this is the Retro Room and I'm going to spend quite a bit of time in here. So the first video on this tape is Stanley Kubrick's The Killing from 1956. It's an hour and 24 minutes long, has a 7.9 score on IMDb. So you know what? I'm going to actually watch it. Oh well, that just finished, so I'll just rewind that. So there was no commercial breaks. This went straight from The Killing into Airplane 2. So in one sense, that video is kind of boring, but in another sense, it wasn't, because without it, I never would have watched Stanley Kubrick's The Killing from 1956. This was a black and white heist movie where a man called Johnny Piano, was it? Johnny Clay, that was it, assembles a team of 5 men to do a $2 million heist on a racetrack. And he almost got away with it too if it wasn't for that meddling poodle. Okay, I'll cut the spoilers out. I'll just leave it out, the meddling poodle bit. But I actually quite enjoyed this film, considering it's a black and white movie. And if I hadn't seen it on this tape, I probably never would have watched it. Here at Chidzvidz, we do not hide from our stupidity. Yesterday, I watched a black and white movie called The Killing, directed by Stanley Kubrick. It's 4 o'clock in the morning right now, and I was lying in bed thinking, hang on a minute, I do have the killing. The only problem is, I didn't realise because the front makes it look like it's in colour. But it's not, is it? It's black and white. So I did have this after all. I was just looking it up. It was Stanley Kubrick's third film. I was very disappointed. As a 50s movie, you always hear about they keep saying she, but they didn't say she once during this film. So that was disappointing. I'm going to give this a high 6 out of 10. There was no commercials during this, which is a shame, so I have no idea where this was recorded off. I'm assuming Sky TV, because there was no like stops either for like breaks for commercials, and now it's just gone straight into Aeroplane 2. So I'm going to quickly skip through this and find out if there's anything else on this tape. I'm slightly disappointed, but whoever owned this video clearly did a very good job at cutting out the adverts. This tape is a Scotch tape, and I will tape over it. I am going to check the rest of the tape though, just in case there's something on the end of it.
Shakespeare, was he the ultimate playwright?
We do have something.
They reports at 10:35 tonight. There's comedy on Channel 4 in a few minutes with 30-something. And here on time...
Oh, bollocks. And now I was hoping for the news. No idea what year that was, but it did look kind of old. That was definitely 80s looking, right? But if you know of any like TV listings, websites, please let me know, because I'd like to do some research on this in the future, because I've got loads of tapes here to go through. Up next, a David Lynch road movie, The Straight Story. Meet Alvin Straight, a 73-year-old man in ill health who learns that his estranged brother Lyle has had a stroke. Alvin wants to visit his brother before it's too late for the both of them. Trouble is, Lyle lives quite far away, and Alvin here can't drive and is a stubborn old git, so won't get the bus. I know you can see boats in the background, but this isn't a theme. This is a road movie. This old fart decides to travel by lawnmower with trailer in tow that he can sleep in. We follow Alvin as he encounters breakdowns. Not those kind, unfortunately. He's driving a lawnmower across the country. He was bound to break down a few times as people try to help him along his journey. The pace of this movie is about as slow as his lawnmower, so if you don't have the attention span, maybe skip this one. I'm over here, stupid. This is based on a true story of Alvin Straight, who traveled from Wisconsin to Iowa back in 1994. Imagine if this happened these days, right? There'd be a TikTok account. Follow me for more updates as I go from Iowa to Wisconsin, or Wisconsin to Iowa, or whatever direction you went in. This is the most family-friendly and most normal David Lynch film you'll ever see. A wholesome, true story. Perfect Sunday night viewing. I give this a 7 out of 10. Up next, if I can get it out, Dawn of the Dead 2004. After a zombie outbreak, a bunch of survivors, including a cop, a married couple, a criminal, and a nurse, seek shelter at a local shopping mall. This is a remake or reimagining of the 1978 classic by George A. Romero of the same name. With its shorter runtime, great soundtrack, and quicker pace, this movie is much easier to digest if you're an average moviegoer. Whereas in the original movie, the zombies are slow and plodding, in this movie, the zombies are violent and fast. I'm sure this was inspired by the success of 28 Days Later. Gonna get me some zombies. The DVD that I have has tons of extra features. I also have the director's cut and the original, along with the George A. Romero movies, which I will watch at some point. Again, it's been a long time since I saw those. This is a very good film, 8 out of 10. Not really physical media related, but it was announced the other day that Smiling Friends will be coming to an end, with 2 episodes airing in April, and after that, it's done. I'm disappointed, but it's nice to see a show go out while it's on top. Shows like Bottom and Young Ones, Black Books, all like ended early and left you wanting more, and because of that they're more memorable. So I'm looking forward to these final 2 episodes, but it's a shame that it won't be continuing. On a random Tuesday night after a 12-hour shift, I decided to watch 2007's There Will Be Blood for the first time. I've had this film for years, and I don't know why it's taken me so long, but I was in the mood for it, so I put it on. As you can see, I'm running out of room in the T section of the DVD section. This movie is directed by Paul Thomas Anderson, and we follow Daniel Plainview, played by Daniel Day-Lewis, as he goes from rags to riches and becomes a very successful oil prospector. One day, Daniel is approached with some information about some oil that is on some family's ranch. One of the family members, Eli Sunday, played by Paul Dano, is hoping to use the oil money to fund his church. But Daniel Plainview has other ideas, and these two keep butting heads. I drink your milkshake! The script for this film would probably read quite weird, but the acting in this film is superb. We watch Daniel, whatever his bloody name is, go from a oil tycoon to just a complete psychopath. This film is very good. I think I gave it an 8 out of 10. Yep, 8 out of 10. I thoroughly enjoyed this. It's 2 hours and 38 minutes, but it just, like, whizzed by. With Scream 7 currently in cinemas, and Scary Movie 6 coming out in June of this year, I decided to watch Scary Movie. I've had this DVD since its release in, like, late 2000, early 2001, so this DVD is about 25 years old. And in that time, I might have rewatched it once. Like with most boundary-pushing comedies, this becomes less funny with age, but I still enjoyed it. It has a really good soundtrack: Fountains of Wayne, Bloodhound Gang, Slim Shady, Silverchair, Ramones, Tupac, Public Enemy, just to name a few. The DVD features for the time are pretty lacking. I mean, if you got this kind of features nowadays, you'd call it stacked, but back in DVD's heyday, we were spoiled, man. I'd give this a 6 out of 10. I actually remember the second one being the funniest. This episode's favourite purchase goes to a 1986 movie by Wes Craven, Deadly Friend. Look at that cover. I used to have this on video. Ugh. Every time I think about all the videos that I threw out in the garden in the rain in the early 2000s, I get upset. So I need a minute. Anyway, let's not get too upset about that. That was ages ago. I will never forgive myself for throwing out all my videos, though. This movie was meant to be a science fiction PG movie, but the studio had other ideas, so it kind of turned into this weird hybrid of a science fiction slash horror movie slash... It's all over the place. Meet Paul, a kid who is beyond his years intellectually. Him and his mother move into a new neighborhood so that Paul can study robotics at a university. Oh look, here comes the hot girl from across the road to ruin everything. Sam here is played by Kristy Swanson. You might remember her from such movies as Buffy the Vampire Slayer. As Sam and Paul's friendship grows, Sam's abusive father becomes more and more possessive, taking things way too far one night. Sam ends up dead. Paul steals her body from the morgue with the idea of reanimating her using a chip that he takes out of his robot BB. Unfortunately for him, things go tits up and he ends up creating a serial killer as Sam goes after everybody who wronged her or her friends and offing them one by one. This is probably the best kill in the movie. She takes a basketball and just throws it at her head and it explodes. This movie may be a bit of a mess, but I have a fondness for it, so I'm happy to finally own it on Blu-ray. I gave it a 6 out of 10. That's it for this episode. I will be back next week with a watch-along with the VHSs that I have upstairs. Also, there should be another episode of this. See you next week.